some of the ways to get into an investment property, commercial or residential, that needs repairs, needs a lot of work. If you do not have the cash to do it, maybe you have the cash for the down payment or part of the cash for the down payment, but you don't have all the money to do the remodeling and renovations that the property requires, and the lender will not give you the money to do it. What are your options? So one of them is you can get the cost of the repairs and the build out, whatever it is, estimated from a licensed general contractor, and make sure that you understand what those numbers and costs are going to be. Add that to the purchase price and get the seller to give that back to you in a repair credit or assistance or seller concessions necessarily, but in a credit. So a credit is very different than a concession, and is very different than closing cost assistance. You can also get closing cost assistance. You can also get seller concessions on certain things, but you want to have a repair credit coming back from the seller to do any kind of improvements, renovations, things like that. That can come back after the closing, or it can be done by the seller prior to closing. However, you and your lender and the seller, whatever works for you. Another way to do it is, this is a big question, should you get your real estate license? So if you're a real estate licensee, you have a real estate license, you can capture the commission, and you can use that in a number of ways. You can take it as a credit on the property. So whatever the commission is, just reduce the purchase price by your percentage of that commission that you would otherwise receive as an agent acting on behalf of yourself or your entity. You can take the actual commission and then use that for whatever you want, but you will end up paying taxes on that. Or you can, another option is to add to the purchase price to increase your commission. So for instance, if the seller's paying a 3% commission to the listing agent and a 3% commission to the buyer's agent, or 2% to the buyers, or whatever it is, you can say, I want a 10% commission and add that to the purchase price. So if they're asking $500,000 for the property and you want a $50,000 commission, then you just say, I'll pay you $550 for the property. You give me a $50,000 commission, 10% commission. That's totally legal, appropriate. Commissions are completely negotiable. They're not set. They can be anything. They can be whatever a seller is willing to pay. So you will get that back, but again, you're going to have to pay taxes on it. So if you take a commission, that is taxable. Now you can take the reduction in purchase price as a commission. So that wouldn't help you in this scenario. This only helps you if you want to capture some cash and get it back almost like a cash out refinance, but you get it back in the form of a commission. It's just a way to pull cash out of the deal. I've used that strategy a lot in my career, but it is taxable as ordinary commission income. So you can get seller concessions, you can get seller down payment assistance. There are programs for that where they can gift you up to 1%, depending on the lender, of the purchase price. They can gift that to you as a purchaser. You can have a repair credit that you ask for and built into the purchase price. You have commissions if you're a licensed agent built into the purchase price. And then of course you can have seller carrybacks, but generally the lenders are not going to want any kind of liens on the property. So that's going to have to be just a promissory note outside of the deal that you have between the seller and yourself. And the lender, like I said, is not going to a lot of times allow for that on first purchase money deeds, and they're not going to allow seconds on the initial purchase money sometimes. So you have to go back and maybe record a lien later down the road after closing. So those are some of the ways that you can get into a deal, get your rehab money up front, get cash out of a deal when closing.